So the Social Paintball League is doing a tournament right now, and I wanted to point out some of the mistakes that I'm hearing, and that's before the match. So before the match, if there's the 10-second whatever, you're allowed to talk from the sideline. You're allowed to say what is it that the other team is doing or look like they're doing. What I want to bring up is the fact that you are helping the other team if you're calling out certain bunkers. So let's say you're yelling snake corner, home, Dorito corner, Dorito 1, God, whatever it is. If they're setting up a certain way, a smart team will actually set up in ways that are going to trick you. Also, if I hear someone screaming snake corner and I know I'm going to the snake corner, I might change my route. I might run and maybe stop at the God or stop at a different bunker. I might pull up and shoot, delay, and then go out. Just because I know, man, they're probably gonna pull up and have a lane there right away. So rather than having no code, have a code for that. Some teams like to use colors. One side of the field will be like orange, the other side is red, or it'll be yellow and blue, or whatever it might be. So that way you can tell your team, hey, it looks like they're going heavy this side. Or maybe you have a certain bunker that has a code before that break. You want to use orange or Omaha or whatever it is that you want to use. You could even have a stupid one, you know, nacho, whatever it might be. You can have a code that maybe there's a certain player that likes to go to a certain bunker, but if I'm that player and I hear God and I'm trying to go to the God, well, maybe I'm going to change my route and go to the snake corner instead. Or maybe I'm going to stop and delay and then go out. You're giving me more of a chance to be able to survive, or I'm going to be more mindful of that lane. Now, the flip side of that is look at what the other players are doing. So if I look over and I'm the other team, there's someone on the sideline, and I see them setting up like this, that means that this guy is probably going to come up and shoot or go to the center. So if you have a code that says watch the center, you can immediately start calling that. Unless there's a bunker right here. If there's a home bunker, then that means that he's probably going to be pulling up and shooting this way. Now, if they look like they're setting up to run, they look like maybe they're leaning a little bit more, then they might be going up into the center. If you have a caution the center call, use it. Or if you have a this guy's probably leaning this way call, you can use that. They're probably not going to pull up like this. They might, but most likely they're going to pull up like that. So the other thing is, if you see a player like this, they're holding their gun, they're probably going to come up and run and gun this way, or they might be pulling up to delay and shoot a cross shot. The other one is seeing someone set up like a sprinter, where if they're looking like they're going to run, they're probably going to do that. Okay, so the flip side of this is you can actually trick the other team. Having your gun set up like this, they might say, oh, running, there's a gunner going to the God or whatever. And what you really are doing is going and sprinting. Now, you are giving up a little bit of a step, because we know that your outside hand should be the one that has the gun, and that same leg is the one that's forward, because when you go to run, that way it's more natural to run this way. So you are giving up a little bit of that launch, but if they're expecting you to stop back here and you sprint out further, you're giving yourself an advantage. The other one, and you may have seen even guys on Dynasty doing stuff like this, where they go and they start to run and then they pull up their gun halfway through and start shooting. So this way you can kind of trick the other team to think maybe you're going really deep wide, and actually you're stopping and pulling up. So I say all of this as a help. So again, I'm hearing people screaming out, oh, Dorito corner, home, snake corner. You're helping the other team when you say stuff like that. Now I might change my breakout a little bit, or stop a different way, or delay something that's going to give me more of an advantage, because you think that I'm going here. Now you've wasted your gun shooting a lane that way. The other side of it is, if you watch teams, watch to see if they try to do those different breaks. Because if they're trying to do those weird switch ups where they run and then they pull up and start shooting, or they start like this and then they go to run, I would say just ignore those calls. If there's a certain player that favors a certain bunker, then you could have a code like a blue or an orange or red or whatever it might be. So this video is kind of threefold. So we have codes. You should have a code of a heavy Dorito, heavy snake, caution the center, something like that. So that way you can yell it, your teammates know exactly what you're talking about, but the other team, if they hear it, they're probably not going to know what that means. The flip side of that is switch up how you're setting up on the box. I had to do this at World Cup 2 or 3 years ago. There was a certain spot that I could start like this or start like this, and if I can switch it up, maybe they think I'll be higher or lower, whatever the case may be. I can change it up so that way it's going to be harder for them to shoot me going out to a certain spot. Those are ways that you can trick those people, but usually in the lower divisions, if you see someone set up like this, you're going to know they're probably going to come up and run and gun. If they're setting up like this, they're probably going to come up and shoot, right? And then, of course, if they're running, looking like they're going to be in a sprinter stance, they're probably running out to that side. So at least you can take those ideas and use them to your advantage. So I hope that this video helps you guys out. I hope that it's something that I know some people are playing tournaments again. I know the NXL just announced that they are not doing the regional events in August, which is a shame, but ultimately we have to stay healthy. And I'm actually probably going to start using one of those neck gaiters. They're thinner, but that's going to be because I'm playing. If it's something that can help stop the spread of this, we should go ahead and do that. Same thing like whenever I go into somewhere where it's enclosed, I put on my ML Kings mask from Ruthless Paintball. Please make sure you're wearing your mask. Make sure that other people are healthy. I want to play World Cup. I haven't been able to play an event this year, so I want to be able to play an event and get back out there. If there is a video that you'd like to see, go ahead and put it down in the comments down below. Before we end off, I did want to say a huge thank you to my Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to be a support on Patreon, go over to patreon.com/howtoplaypaintball, and I pull from those questions first for videos and also do some private videos just for my Patreon. So if you have a question, I might just put it up for only the Patreon. So go ahead over there and sign up. There's a whole bunch of different options, so I understand times are tough. So don't feel like it starts at like $25 a month or something like that. It starts off at $1. So I appreciate all of you, even the $1 all the way up to, $20, whatever it is that you're giving. Thank you so much for that. And I will see you guys in the next video. But as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.